Whoo! How to get your first couple of sponsors. Exactly what this video is going to be about. Not just exactly, because we're gonna ride. If you're new to the channel here, or if you haven't watched this channel in a long time, we changed the format. It's basically me recording in one take, riding, talking about old days, you know, how BMX life used to be. Have been riding BMX for about 20 years now. I have been a pro since 2012. That's 12 years ago. I've been riding BMX professionally, like semi-professionally to professionally. So these days now I don't really do that much anymore. Did have a professional shoot, my first job as like proper job in BMX since I did a comeback again this spring. We did a shoot for a bank in Austria. I was dressed up in a suit riding BMX. A typical thing core BMX riders would hate on, which is something we're gonna go back to, because earning money, like getting sponsors and earning money from BMX, is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. Trust me, I know. I've been sponsored by Mafia Bikes, one of the more controversial brands in BMX. Not controversial in my opinion, but to the old heads, definitely very, very controversial. Because, you know, if you haven't seen the whole story about Mafia Bikes, they sell direct to consumer from a website. Like, they don't only sell bikes to a bike shop, and which then sell them further to the consumer, which obviously was enough to make them one of the most hated brands in BMX, which is quite fascinating actually, because that's just how the world works. Everything in the world works that way now. You have a, you know, retail is getting out of business. Web shops is definitely in. So, but when someone tried to do that in BMX, they instantly got the trademark of the most hated BMX brand out there. And I was sponsored by them, so you can just guess how much hate I got. Never let any of it get to me, because I know it's the future and I enjoyed working with them. The frames was perfect, the parts in particularly was, the parts in general was extremely good. So, which is, you know, still the parts I run to this date. The frame, this frame I've had for years. I don't, if I'm gonna think, like 3 years. So, yeah, they're pretty good. Look at the rail, all rusty. By the way, I forgot to mention, it's December. The sun suddenly came out. It's already on the way down though. We have, in Norway, we have approximately 8 hours of daylight every day at this time. Really depressing. But you know, when the sun's out, you have to take the chance, take the opportunity, I mean, and get out and ride. So, you know, and charge up the GoPro. Brought the bike to the park, and we're gonna have some fun, and I'm gonna tell you the story of how I got my first couple sponsors in BMX. It's quite an interesting story, because we're getting through it. Quite a combo. Because when I was 18 years old, I was done with school, college, not college, the school before college. We have a certain name in Norway for it, but I don't think it's the same. But anyway, when I was 18, I was finished with school, and there was no chance I was going to go out working. I wanted to become a pro BMX rider. I didn't really have the goal, so to say, of becoming a pro BMX rider. I just wanted to become really good at riding. So I was finished with school, lived at my dad's place, rode every single day, literally like 8 hours a day, up to 10. I had my own car, and I just rode around to the skate parks every single day, and my progression skyrocketed through the roof because I didn't have anything else that was stealing my time, or sleep for that matter. I was so sleep deprived when I was back when in school, when I had to wake up early to get to school. I was hopeless at getting to bed early. So yeah, that's the start of my pro BMX career. And as my progression went through the roof, of course my Instagram presence grew a little bit, but not crazy at all. I had like back in the days I had a couple thousand followers, which was good for back in the days. Now everyone has Instagram and it's way easier to get to a lot of followers because you have reels and TikToks and stuff like that. Short form content spreads incredibly easy online. I'm gonna try to do the line again. I need to stay warm. I love that line. It's such a perfect setup. So yeah, I had a couple thousand followers. I started competing because the thing I was only riding streets back in the days. Streets at the time didn't have a lot of contests, like street contests, but park at the other hand, all the big countries in Europe had their own like big contests, like Simple Session in Tallinn, Estonia, Ghetto Games in Poland, and FIS in France, and so on and so on. It was a lot of contests to attend. I was extremely lucky. My dad knows a lot of people, so he started contacting like brands and trying to get a couple sponsor deals. So if you think this video is about how I'm gonna tell you to get your first sponsors, you're semi-tricked. Not really. I'm not really a fan of telling people how to do stuff because I feel like every single success story, getting a couple sponsors in BMX is definitely a success story. Getting your first, having it like an actual success story is totally unique to your own. So you can't replicate my story. It was a totally different time. This was in 2012/13. We didn't have TikTok, we barely had Instagram. Social media was nothing like it is now. Nothing, I'm telling you. You had YouTube. You could have a YouTube channel, but no one really did that. Animal C did it, and me eventually, like years later. Yes. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you how my story went. Perhaps I'll inspire you. Perhaps you have an aspiring BMX dream, and you can watch this and you can be like, okay, I can draw some inspiration from this. So yeah, that's what this video is about. So okay, so we started contacting people and I got my first couple sponsors, like paid ones, actual paying sponsors. That was crazy. I could not believe it, because when I was 18 and I said I just wanted to ride bikes, everyone said to me like, you can't live off that. If you're from Norway, there's no way you're gonna be able to do that, like actually make a living. Little did they know, I actually made quite a decent amount. So I got the first couple deals. They sponsored me as an athlete, expecting results from the bigger contests, hoping to get like some place in the newspaper, having me being like on top of a podium or something like that, and that would make news or headlines somewhere in the local newspaper or something like that, because that would give them publicity. So that was kind of the deal back in the day. So that's how, now when people become like pros in that sense now, it's a lot of Instagram, it's a lot of, you get a brand deal for posting something on your Instagram, which is fine. I didn't have to do any of those at that time. So that's pretty much how my life was from 2012 to 2016. I eventually got a deal in 2015 with X Dubai, which was a huge deal, an extremely good deal. I had a helmet, the branded helmet and everything. Most of you people who used to watch this channel remember the X Dubai helmet. They flew me out to Dubai. I experienced a whole lot of crazy stuff. Hanging out at yachts, flying in a helicopter among the skyscrapers there. Extremely fun. You get a very unique life, which money can't really get you. No matter how rich you are. Some of the experience I've had is totally impossible. I've almost died like 2 times, 3 actually, with an internal bleeding from inside. Not saying it was pleasant, but it was unique. I also had a front-on-front collision, 60 kilometers an hour. I know how much that is in miles, but it was crazy. That was on the way to BMX contest. Not something I'd recommend, but at least I can say I've almost died like a couple times, which is quite unique. I tried to flare 540 and I crashed onto my kidney. 2014, I was like 19 or 20. Extremely rough crash, definitely the hardest one I've ever had. Landed really hard to my right, and I damaged my kidney extremely hard, and I started bleeding from inside. Internal bleeding, it's called. So you can have like up to like grade 5 of kidney failure or kidney damage. I had 4, so it was like almost completely broken and I had to take it out. Luckily it grew together and I got to keep it. This was before, like if that was now, I would totally vlog the whole incident, because I was like in a hospital bed for quite some time. Could have vlogged there, it was extremely boring, but internet wasn't like that back in the days. It would definitely make extremely interesting content. Like the thoughts I had laying down there, it's something I've never even been close to having. So yeah, BMX life. After 2016, I felt I was finished with my BMX career and I wanted to pursue a YouTube career. And so I did. Met up with Harry Main, we did some collabs. Spiked my YouTube presence like overnight. I went from 4,000 followers to 20,000 pretty much in a week, and then it was all on. Pretty much copied all the other big BMX YouTubers at the time. And oh, I need to ride. It gets extremely cold here. Sorry. Your flare. Phew. Look at this, it's all wet. So yeah, where do we go? Yeah, YouTube. I started YouTubing. That was fun. Didn't really have any success until I did my first couple hill bomb videos and eventually water park videos. Watched Billy Perry's water park video, infamous water park video, which went extremely viral. One of the first crazy viral BMX videos back in the days, 2016, 2017, around that time. And I just knew this was going to be the path to making money on BMX. Because, you know, before that, I had, when I was just riding contests and posting on Instagram, I had a couple sponsors coming and going. Paid, compared to now, nothing. I've talked to Red Bull riders making not even what I make in a month now, in a year. Crazy. So I don't know how things are now, but I'm just gonna tell my story of how I've seen like the financial part of the BMX life. next to nothing. Almost, well, yeah. Most people's consume in a month, in a year. That's what they made in a year. So I had them, got some, lost some, and I knew this was not gonna go like extremely well. It's not that it wouldn't end well, but it's just, you know, you don't see a lucrative future going that way. So yeah, got some, lost some, and then I started YouTubing, gaining tens of thousands of followers. It went pretty instant, because the thing I found out with YouTube is there's no limits. I don't have to wait for any contests to get any good spots in the contest. I can just go out. If I have an idea, I can come up with an idea. I can search around on the web, get ideas, and then just go out and make them happen. That concept was the most fun with YouTube. I can have the most bizarre videos, putting skateboard wheels on a BMX, going down a water park slide, going down a hill bump, anything, stuff like that, and bike mods. Snow skate BMX bike. I even had a chainsaw and I made holes in the ice and rode on it with studded tires. Made studded tires, rode on the snow. There was no limits. There was no limits anymore, and I could just have my creativity just go wild, which was amazing. Another smooth one. I love that line. It's so smooth. Bar manual tap on that thing. Feels so good. Okay. Yeah. So when that happened, I still had my X2Y sponsors. I did get a couple other commercial sponsors. Bula, which is like, it's kind of a silly name in English, but it's a very big Norwegian sports brand, or not particularly sport, but just, you know, clothing. It was clothing sold in most stores. Like, for instance, the store over there sells Bula. It's everywhere. It's huge. So getting a couple deals like that is extremely good, and you want to get that without having a mass appeal. So the thing I'm trying to tell you now, making it good in BMX, obviously you probably already knew this now by now. But that is having a big social media presence. Be creative, have like your own channel, monetized content as well. Saying YouTube is monetized. Instagram, I do believe, not back in the days when I was doing this, but now I do believe it's monetized. Snapchat pays well now. TikTok pays well, and you can have the same content. You can just post it on all channels. I did that as well. I built up my Snapchat, Instagram, but the only thing I really paid well was in YouTube, and that was the thing I was having my biggest focus at. Definitely made it big. 2 million followers. Channel is pretty much dead now, but back in the days it used to pop like heavy. It was quite a big deal, I do believe, at least in my life. Made some money off it, had the opportunity to make a very unique life for myself, and now having the opportunity to build another business, because I have invested the income I'd made with BMX in real estate, which do pays off quite decent, at least here in Norway. Okay, bar money. I wonder how many whips I've done in my life. Just a random question. How many tail whips I've done? Or bar spins. How many times I've spun around my own axis. How many 360s, how many 1080s. I can probably count how many 1080s I've done. I used to do them back in the days. used to spin a lot, quick. Okay, so where are we now? 2018, I do believe. Peak of the BMX career. I made a whole lot of, and in 2019, everything I touched turned into gold. This was in the peak of BMX popularity, at least in my experience. Everything I touched, like whenever I would make a vlog, it would go viral. I would go to crazy places. At the wildest of times, X2by sent me to China to make an abandoned water park video. I literally went to the other side of the world to film an abandoned water park. Barely made it. Made a couple cool clips, went viral on YouTube again and Instagram last year when I reposted the clips, which was fun. I know you can always reuse the clips again. And got a couple brand deals, definitely, because when you're in a, back in the days when you used to join a YouTube network, when you join YouTube, to actually get paid you needed to be a part of something called a multi-channel network, I do believe it's called, something like that. I'm still partnered up with them. They used to be called BBTV, which reached out to me and wanted to be my, they're like management for you and help you with all things YouTube, and they do take a little cut of it, which is fair. They also got me a whole lot of brand deals and stuff like that. So that's pretty much my story when it comes to becoming a pro BMX rider, being able to live the most crazy life I could ever imagine, traveling the world, making money off it, and having unforgettable memories from it. I'm pretty much over it now. I feel like in 2020 I felt like I was finished. This is it. I have now completed my BMX journey and I want to do something new, which I've started a new company now with my truck over there. It's one of the heavy trucks we got here in Norway. Not like you American dudes having those Chevys with 6-liter engines, but it's big compared to Norwegian roads. Yeah, that's the way further. I was just out riding, you know, having my camera with me as always, and I wanted to make a little, you could say a tutorial or a little story roundup on how I did my professional BMX career. Perhaps you got any inspiration from this? Nice. Any questions, hit me up on Instagram at OlaBMX, and thanks for watching. Peace out.